Hello everyone, welcome to the second episode of the Advanced tutorial. And I will be honest, I'm not feeling motivated for this. I was gonna do the second tutorial like the day after the first one, but I didn't, and then I tried to do it like 2 days after, and the recording was terrible, and I just wasn't happy with it, so... I'm just hoping I can do this, and then maybe I'll regain motivation. So for this tutorial we'll be fixing one thing, and then also making the seed packets at the top of the screen. And that will be it for this tutorial. So first, let's go into background, and I want to do something for it, because I think this shouldn't actually be square. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to stretch it out a bit. 55 is probably a good amount. The reason for this is that it's now easier to fit something like a pea shooter on here. There's more room for it. But of course, we're going to have to change our code, because right now it looks like this. So what we're going to do is make another variable called tile height. And we're going to set tile height to 55, since that's what it is. And now, basically, whenever we're dealing with the Y position, which is where its height is, we're just going to swap out width for height. And there's only two cases, which is here and here. And it appears you're going to want to adjust it a bit until it looks right. Okay, that looks right. And it is going up off that, and the seeds have to go up here. So what we're going to do is we're going to move it down a bit by going to here, which is where it starts. And we're going to do an offset of -30. So now the lawn is bigger. Okay, now we're going to put seed packets up here. So create a new sprite called plants. And I'm just going to load in some art I drew from my other thing. You'll have to draw this sort of stuff in your own time. Okay, so I have this very prototype art here. I'd recommend not spending too long on it, because you can always improve it later. Of course, I made this previously, so it does look sort of good, but I might improve this later still. So what you're going to need is a seed background, which you can just be a rectangle, a seed front, which should be the this rectangle should be bigger than the seed background, and then each of these. You're going to name it seed background, seed front, the clock, we don't need it yet, and then the names of the plants. So what we're going to do is hide this, and what we're going to do is we're going to be drawing it every frame. So draw UI. So we're drawing the UI of the game, the seed slots, so we're going to want to do it when we receive draw UI. And now you want to make a function block, draw seed slots, since that's what we're doing. And then pop that under there. And now I'll just chuck these blocks under it, and we'll change it a bit later. This is just so you can see sort of where it is. So we know that, so now if we adjust the size, we can work out where it should go. So size, so if we have a look at that. Okay, so the sun count is going to be here, so we don't want it there. But that seems like a decent place for the seed slots to be. And we'll have up to 10, possibly, and then the shovel. So now what you want to do, just create a quick list called seeds selected. And we're going to move this later, but we're just going to add some things to it. Okay, so this is a temporary script just to give us a list of the plants we have. What we're going to do is repeat by the length of the list, because we're going to be stamping it once for each of them. Switch costume to the seed background and stamp. Then, what you want to do is create a variable called something like number, index, or no. No is short for index or number. So at the start of the repeat we want to set it to 0 so that we start the count. And then at the start of each one we change the count up by 1. Which means every time we do this, no will be 1 bigger. So when no equals 1, so then you're on item no of seed selected. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it will go through everything in the list. So we'll switch costume to that and stamp. And right now we have a walnut there. But you might notice it's just the walnut, and that's because they're all stamping on top of each other because they're not moving. So let's throw a change x by 10 in there. And as you can see they're peeking out now. And find the right number. 40 seems like a good amount. But we're not just done yet because we also need to switch costume to the seed front and make sure you're stamping that on top. And we are now stamping the seeds, which means next tutorial we can probably start clicking on plants and placing them down. So, because my motivation's low and it took me like 20 minutes just to start this video and I can't make them often, yeah, I'm gonna have to end it there and hopefully make another tutorial sometime soon. If you're interested in this tutorial, please let me know, because comments can give me a lot of motivation, but if no one says anything I kinda just feel like no one cares. And I hope this can go somewhere.